I want to ask you, how long does the land registration process typically take? How long? Because I know it's a very cumbersome process. Some can take years for it
So-
to go through.
Sometimes when you read the law, they'll say once the documents are submitted, it
Submitted,
will take 2 weeks.
yes, but that's not the case.
That's not the case.
There's always a way around
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
There's
So
always a way
you
around
know
it.
there are human beings who deal with this kind of
Mm.
thing. So usually, more or less, it also depends on number one how you help the land registry officials,
Right.
right? The civil servants who are there, because some people don't come with all the complete documentation. Some people come with the site plan that isn't approved, and they later on have to do another site plan. So when you even have to do a site plan, it will take some weeks and months to have it delivered to you.
Right.
I hope you got it.
Right.
So I usually tell people that put in 2 months to 3 months at the back of your head. That is for even the most facilitated process.
That's
1 to 3 months, the most facilitated. If I talk about facilitated,
yeah,
people take things to smoothen their hands and all that
yeah,
to
yeah,
facilitate it for you.
yeah.
But then that is another issue altogether, yes. But then, under normal circumstances, in the law, it's supposed to take 1 to 3 months.
Mm.
But then, in practice,
It can
there's
take
a
you like
backlog.
it can even take
Take
you
a
like a
year
year.
or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the truth. In practice, there's a backlog, and government officials will take things at their own pace,
Right.
right? Unless, of course, you smoothing their hands.
Right.
So those things are
That's
smoothing.
that's
eh,
illegal.
well, that's illegal, but then you know
Yeah,
how
it's a
things are.
system.
Yes, even
Yeah,
passport
yeah,
is supposed to take 2 weeks.
absolutely.
Passport 2 weeks,
But
but then
how much do you think it will cost you to register a land?
see the lands. What happens is that for the land title registry,
Right.
they always submit the estimated cost.
Okay.
Right? They submit it. So usually, more or less, I did not say it often. You
Yeah.
just go to their website, right? And then they'll get the land registration cost. Okay, land registration cost for you. So on the website, they could tell you that, but it's not really that expensive, right? Usually, if you have about 2,000 to 3,000 cedis, you are good to go. So they give you the value of the land and then the estimated cost. So it's more or less in proportion to the value of the land. So there are some lands, if it's a small, value, then the estimated cost is there. I hope you got it. If it's a big value, the estimated cost. So for example, if you are looking for a service from the Lands Commission, the Survey and Mapping Division, right, they charge about 72 cedis per copy of some of their documents. The estimated cost of survey is maybe 72 cedis. But you know that one. You get it.
That's not it really.
Yeah. So there are so many. So they also have documentation dealing with. So you can actually apply to the land mapping divisions if you want a surveyor. I hope you got it. They'll give you the estimated cost and all that. But then lands commission survey and mapping, you can get 650 cedis for a complete survey and mapping. Right? It's on their website. Let me just get more information on the website. So
survey and mapping division, right?
yes, so there's the survey and mapping division, and there's also the even the stamping of the licenses, stamping of the registration, stamping of documents. They take money, you pay money for it. But more or less, it is supposed to be made very cheap and affordable for the ordinary individuals, and they usually, update the website with that information.
Okay.
So more or less, I usually tell people that if you ask for the registration cost today, there's a website that has the updated cost, but it's usually not expensive. I want to get the
I mean, sometimes depending on where the land is and all that, the price can actually go up.
Yes.
It can actually go up ridiculously expensive. It can be very, very, very. The price can be very substantial.
So sometimes registration, I see some fees here like 100 cedis, 200 cedis.
Yeah. But then sometimes they can actually go really up.
Yes.
Just a full plot in some areas can even cost you a little about $2,000.
Yes. So more or less, in reference to the documentation and all those things, there are other additional charges and fees. That's why I said people usually don't come with a complete document.
Right.
Just for stamp, because registration is just they'll stamp the documents and then they'll put it on the register.
Let me ask you a question. How would you verify your documents if you want to buy a property? How would you verify your land? How would you verify? What should you do?
Right. So number one, it means that the property wasn't yours at first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. You are trying to buy the landed property.
Perfect. Now you are buying it from someone.
Right.
Okay. So number one, I usually tell people that on the ground you have to perform what is known as the necessary due diligence.
Okay.
You have to do the background checks.
Right.
The responsibility due to case law, the responsibility is on the buyer.
Right.
The buyer to actually do the background check. Now the background checks in law is called legal due diligence. Right. And as you said, you can even do some verification for people. So people must take the active step to do the legal due diligence.
Absolutely.
So number one, the identity of the person giving the particular property.
Right.
You must have his full identity, and you must be able to trace his connection.
The Ghana card. Add the Ghana
you
card.
must be able to trace his connection to the particular property. So if someone walks up to you and says, "I'm Sedzo, the lands at Oyarifa belongs to the Doe family."
Yeah.
You can be able to do your background check
Right.
by number one, going to the land title registry,
right,
and conducting a search.
A search in all 3 divisions.
Yes, in all 3 divisions, you are to conduct a search. So when you conduct a search, you'll be able to get enough information
Right.
as to probably who owns the particular property.
Right.
Because obviously the person selling the land will give you a site plan,
Right.
the location of the land.
Right.
So you submit the location of the land to the land, the registry,
Right.
or the lands commission, and they'll be able to trace
Right.
who has, you get it, who has ownership
Right.
of that particular land.
Okay, so adding up, just sorry to cut you.
Hold on.
Adding up to it, I would advise everybody, if you want to buy a land, what you are supposed to do also is, apart from the owner serving you with the site plan, you should be able to also get a surveyor who would come on the land to pick the coordinates and go and conduct the search. Don't let somebody give you a site plan and claim that that is his. And what if the land is not that place?
Yes.
It's at
So,
different,
and you know, many
location.
people can't even read site plans. Obviously, like let's be true. Site plans are technical documents.
Right.
You see it, you just see some lines and you tell you this pink aspect is no.
Get a
So you need someone to
surveyor to do that. We have a lot here at Bokote. We can sort that thing out for you. We can verify your land documents for you. You have no problem.
Right. So once the verification is done,
right,
even that is not enough.
Right.
Now, in case law, they even tell you that you have to actually go on the land itself and conduct what is known as an eye opener search, a physical search. You have to open your eyes and see the land that they are trying to sell to you.
Right.
Because obviously, someone will tell you that he's selling this particular land to you. You didn't go to the location. You buy the land, you transfer the money, you come there, and someone has already gated and walled the property.
Right.
Or you go to the property and someone is having a farm on the property. So you are supposed to go there, do the relevant search, and ask the person the relevant questions. Oh, you have a farm on this land.
Right.
Who gave you the right to have a farm on this land?
Right.
I hope you got me. Who gave you the right to farm there? You ask the person the question. The person will tell you that, oh, my chief or my family head gave me this land to farm on it. So you'll be able to trace the connection to the chief, because no one just comes to land to farm on it or comes to build a property on it. So you have to go to the land physically and do your necessary due diligence. Ask the neighbors questions, especially if it deals with property. Right? Especially if there are court cases in relation to it. How do you know that there'll be a court litigation? Sometimes when you go to the land, on the wall, they plastered injunction to tell you that this particular land, even the people do write with red markings.
Yes.
We are not dealing with anyone. It's not for sale. Meanwhile, someone is selling you the land.
Right.
But you didn't go there physically. If you went there physically, you see the red inscription that this land is not for sale. This building is not for sale.
Absolutely. Talking about that, how would you prevent people from encroaching into your registered land?
Right. So the best way to do that is simply contacting the authorities. Under Article 18, you have to enjoy the privacy of your land.
Right.
So the encroacher is actually committing an offense.
Right.
He is trespassing onto your land.
Right.
So you even have the right to arrest him yourself.
Right.
So people talk about the land guards issue. The land guards are actually allowed under law.
Really?
Yes. People have, or else it wouldn't have been something that is a severe issue. Land guards are allowed under law. You are allowed to guard your land. I hope you are getting it. The same way you guard your saloon, if you have a saloon and it's open, or you have a shop that is open, you have security officers, right? So a security person will be standing guard at your saloon. You see, land cannot be stolen. That's why they put land guards there. The issue is the violence.
Right.
And rather, the person who doesn't own the land is the one who even bring the land guard. You know, that kind of thing. The one who doesn't own the land, because he's rich, you rather bring the land guard to oppress the true owners. That's the issue. But if you are a true owner of the land, you are supposed to guard your land. So what you do is, number one, once you enter possession,
Right.
there's a record possession of the land, you build up your structures. You erect a wall or what is known as boundary pillars. You put in boundary pillars, or you start planting economic crops or trees on the land. You have to, plow the land. You have to clear the surroundings, clear the land, and make people know that there is someone on the land. I hope you got it.
Right.
So that people will not be able to encroach.
Right.